Hi friends, welcome to my channel for Chandrika Sajan. Today we'll do English class 7 Unit 1 Section B, the All American Slurp. So let's get started. Now to answer the following questions in one sentence. Who was the narrator's neighbor? The Gleasons was the narrator's neighbor. Who brought out a platter of fruit? Mrs. Lynn brought out a platter of fruit. What did Mrs. Gleason offer the Chinese family to eat? Mrs. Gleason offered a tray having tiny red radishes, curly sticks of carrots, and long slender stalks of pale green celery. Who was Meg? Meg was the first friend that the narrator had met. Who said this was in the song? Do try some of the celery. Mrs. Gleason said this was to Mrs. Lynn. I can hardly wait to have dinner at your house. Meg said this was to the narrator. Now answer the following questions. Why did the narrator and her brother keep looking at their parents? The narrator and her brother kept looking at their parents so that they could follow what they did and not embarrass themselves. What was there dead silence in a room? There was dead silence in a room because the Lynn family had started peeling out the strings of the celery, and none of the other guests were familiar with this practice. Why was the narrator horrified by Mrs. Gleason? The narrator was horrified by Mrs. Gleason because he was unable to use the chopsticks to grab hold of the peas on his plate, and so resorted to use his fingers to eat. Now think and answer. The narrator has related a story of clashing dining cultures. What method does she employ to do this? Has she been successful? The narrator compares the dining cultures that she followed back in China to the dining cultures of America. This comparison between the two cultures gives a reader insight into the tradition of the two different countries. Yes, she has been successful. In spite of the cultural differences, the two girls remained good friends. Why do you think this is so? Despite the cultural differences, the two girls remain friends probably because they realize that the differences are only superficial. Do you always slurp when you eat a milkshake? I asked. Before I could stop myself, what do you think? The narrator used the expressions eat in a milkshake instead of using drink a milkshake. The narrator's usage of this dream probably shows that the same word is used in Chinese for eating and drinking. Now the last question of values-based questions. What do you think would have happened if the two girls had made fun of each other's families and habits after days get-togethers? What is a lesson is this for all of us? If the two girls had made fun of each other's families, they would have been angry and their friendship would have ended. The lesson that we learned is that we should respect the cultures of others and help them adjust to their new surroundings without making fun of them. So thanks for watching my video. Please like, share and subscribe my channel. So thank you. Bye bye.